It's a B+ program. He's sitting in his car, can't believe it took this long. He's mesmerized. He doesn't know what he just did. It's a B+. And so perhaps he's trained so hard in the gym, the blood flow, it's no longer in his brain, it's in his second head, and he's given him the B+. You would think with the blood flow released from the head more towards the D, that he'd more be inclined to give Jesse James the D. But no, he gives him a B+. Coach Greg, in today's video, Will Tennyson's reviewing Jesse James' training program. And so, how is it going to do? So far, we know that Coach Greg, he got the D. Remember, Lean Beef Patty was able to get a C, but remember, she does have very hot photos, her doing the splits, her doing the good girl and the bad girl, and she doesn't have an OF account as far as I know. And so this is all you can get. And so Will Tennyson, a fan of the good and bad girls, just not in the gym. And so we have the same genes. Now, maybe there's a personal bias. I did leave for that bag of milk close to 30 years ago, but Will Tennyson, he gave Coach Greg the D.
Sorry, D tier. D for Doucette.
How will Jesse James do in comparison?
Jesse James West, world's greatest workout program. Like, it would be stupid not to. Although I do think it's a missed opportunity to call it Let's Go.
Let's go! Drive! Drive! And so world's greatest exercise program in comparison to Let's Go? I mean, I need to hire Will Tennyson as my marketing director. Let's Go is fire! Absolutely! If it was labeled Let's Go, even Coach Greg would have to buy it. But world's greatest exercise program? It's a stretch. And so thankfully, it's not Mike Isertel who's reviewing this. He would say that is worthy of a lawsuit. You can't lie like this. For example, Coach Greg, he lied about the photo on the protein bar.
I don't know why the fuck you would do that.
After all, if you have a Cinnabon on the package, you're expecting to get a cinnamon bun in the wrapper. And so guys, you're gonna learn something from this video. When you get a Quest bar with a birthday cake and a candle on top, or perhaps apple pie with ice cream, that's not what's going to be inside. Mike Isertel, he did not know this despite his PhD, and so of course you can learn harder than last time. And so thankfully, Mike Isertel is not reviewing Jesse James because he most certainly would give him the D. And Jesse James, he's not about that life. He does not want to receive the D from Mike Isertel. He'd much prefer to Greg is Doucette. Sorry, Mike, it is what it is. Latent homosexual.
I will say, though, it's a bit outdated. Like, Jesse, you're not with Rise anymore. You're not even with Young LA anymore. You're with frickin' Gymshark.
And so imagine having so much money like Jesse James does that you don't even need to update your program. He switches supplement companies, clothing brands, and even girlfriends, now a fiance. I don't care. I don't need to make any changes. I'm not about that life. And so, would you rather prefer dating the single moms or Noelle? I prefer maple syrup. All over my stomach.
That's the kind of sap I like.
You the kind of sap I like.
I'm scare-roused.
Who do I like better, single moms or Noelle? Tough question. But I have to pick sugar-free maple syrup. Bro.
And so all know that Coach Greg and Jesse James have been longtime fans of each other's channels, and we're both in love with maple syrup. Me encanta the maple syrup. And so remember, where women, they come and go. Remember, I was in a previous relationship, as was Jesse James back then, and we've now moved on to maple syrup. All over our stomachs. That's how we roll. I kid. I acknowledge I have a throat goat. Jesse James, perhaps also. I don't know.
And good biceps, starting with a superset of lat pull downs, 8 reps, superset, rope pullovers, 12 reps.
And so, interestingly enough, he doesn't mind going from one exercise to the other when it's Jesse James. Now, when it's Lean Beef Patty or Coach Greg, when you have to go from good girls to bad girls, well, he's not a fan. When he made a review of Coach Greg, he says, well, one benefit was he had to get in so many steps. He chose a 60-minute advanced training routine versus the 90-minute program, and he was saying there wasn't enough rest. It's a 60 minutes advanced program, and you're resting while going from one machine to the next. While you're doing your good girl and your bad girls, a different muscle gets to rest. That's how it works. But regardless of that, he gave me the D.
D for Doucette.
When I worked out with Jesse for the first time ever, he actually said this was his favorite superset. So it's nice to know that he has a personal touch in here. It's not just another company slapping his name on it.
And so Will says, look, I trained with him. He said this is his favorite superset. He could see his favorite superset. And so it's not just some company doing the program for him. This is how he actually trains. And so he respects that, really appreciates that it's actually how he likes to train. But remember, when Coach Greg showed how he likes to train, Will Tennyson said, yeah, but you can't train like this in most commercial gyms. Despite the fact that in his gym, of which I've been to, it's always empty. Very, very easy to get through that workout. And remember, if somebody's using a machine, you go on to the next. It's not a big deal. And eventually, if you want to get back to it, they finish their set and say, hey, can I jump in and do a quick set? It's that easy. You make a friend. And so if anything, my program encourages camaraderie, friendship. It could literally be endorsed and approved by none other than Joey Swoll. And so, Will, you need to do better.
You need to do better. Mind your own business.
D for Doucette.
So, good on you, Jesse.
And so when Jesse James shows exactly how he likes to train, he gets an encouragement. But when Coach Greg shows how he wants to train, he says, yeah, but you can't train like this in this gym. It just doesn't work. Is that really fair? And so when you buy a person's training program, do you not want to train like that person? I could very easily design a program that, hey, this is what I know that you want to buy. Oh, are you a female glute program? I'll design that for you. That's what Jeff Nippard's for. It's not Coach Greg. If you want to know how Coach Greg trains, well, get one of Coach Greg's training books. There's beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And if you don't got about $39,000 to hire him as your trainer, there's a free diet and training program. Free. How many of these guys that Jesse went over, I think he went over 8, have a free plan? He's talking about the price, the cost, and so on. Mine's free. It was close to 50 pages, but he didn't review that. And so many people are going to say, Coach Greg's a snake oil salesman. He's just all about money. 100,000 plus people have gotten my free diet and training program. And so why not you be the next? Head over to my website and get the free training program right now. What are you waiting for? Get out of this video.
I looked at the program, I was like, man, how much volume am I actually doing right now? And I looked, 23 sets for the back. For the entire week, you may ask, 39.
And so how much volume in this program? 23 sets for day one, and for the week, 39 sets for back. And so what does the research say? 10 to 20 sets is optimal for muscle hypertrophy. We're rating training programs. This has 39 sets, potentially double what you need. And so how long will this workout actually take? Will said he was in the gym for so long, he saw 2 groups of people come into the gym and exit. And so probably close to 3 hours. And so if you have all day to train, all the time in the world, great program. You're in the gym, you like to sit down, chat, hang out, go to the gym all day, overtrain your body, not get the kind of gains that you want, by all means, it's a great program. And so what rating does he give Jesse? He gives him a B+. And so the science behind Jesse's training doesn't make any sense. He gets a B+ for a workout that takes close to 3 hours, that's taking up almost your entire day. Coach Greg, on the other hand, he's criticized. There's not enough rest between sets. It's the appropriate amount of volume, the appropriate amount of intensity, but it only took me an hour. But it was too quick. And so I'm going to relegate him to a D. Jesse James gets a B+. Coach Greg, he gives him the D.
D for Doucette.
And so does that make sense? Now hear me out. If you were to take my program and take your time, stretch it out, perhaps do it for an hour and a half. Let's even call it 2 hours. It's still much shorter than Jesse James' program. And so if you buy Coach Greg's program in comparison to Jesse James, you're going to probably save a minimum of an hour in the gym. What could you do with that hour? You could learn Spanish. You could go to school. You could learn a new language. You could go on a dating site. You could Greg your Doucette. I don't care. And so does it really seem fair that I am relegated to a D when Jesse James gets a B+, when his training program doesn't make any sense? And so I don't know what... Perhaps he has hard feelings. I left almost 30 years ago to get a bag of milk. I don't know.
Did I miss the cycle information under nutrition? Like, that is a lot of volume. But then again, nobody is caffeinated quite like Jesse.
And so he defends him and says, well, you know what? No one's as caffeinated as Jesse. Does Will Tennyson, when he goes over my program, say, well, Coach Greg is on HRT. He's a trained cyclist. He did triathlons for 13 years. And so clearly he has the ability to not rest for hours between sets. And he's friendly enough that he can go from one machine to the next. And if somebody happens to be on a machine, he can quickly say, hey, Do you mind if I do a quick set? It's going to take me 30 seconds. Is that okay? And now you have a new friend. And so let's criticize Greg. What a horrible training program that is. I mean, I had to walk from one machine to the next. It built up my step count. I burnt off more calories. I've gotten my cardio in, of which Will Tennyson says I only like to do 5 minutes cardio max. And so how do I get the D? My training plan is S+. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. You want to hear that I agree with your rating. I don't think so. And though I appreciate that for you, you didn't like the program, all you need to say is, I don't like training like this, and so for me, it's a D.
D for Doucette.
If you enjoy training truly hard, going harder than last time, and you only got an hour, it's S+.
About to start my third pull-down variation this workout, which is great training if I'm ever hanging off a cliff's edge, I guess.
And so apparently, it's great training if you're hanging off a cliff's edge. He's on the third pull-down variation. Clearly, the volumes get to him, but he still gives him a B+.
What?
Now, if you actually listen to what he says, analyze it, compare it to what exactly should a training program look like. Is it based on science, and will it in fact build your muscles in an appropriate amount of time? You should be getting a D.
D for Doucette.
I'm sorry, but I'm the one who tells you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. And so when you do a rating program, it's got to make some sense. You need to be fair from one person to the next. And so if it's simply about what one did you like the most, then that's fine. But if we're rating based on metrics, this rating system makes no sense.
But right now, my back is so pumped. I feel like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It is more blown out than a kid's birthday cake candles.
And speaking of blowing out birthday cake candles, did you know that in the Quest protein bar, the birthday cake with the candle lid on top, there's no candle lid on top? And so when you open up the bar, don't expect to blow out a candle. Right, Mike? Bro has no
Honestly, I'm liking this workout a lot. It's a big change from what I'm used to. I feel like I'm gonna be freaking sore tomorrow, but I think over time, I might hate it.
And so Will's quote directly from this workout, he's going to be really sore tomorrow, but over time, he's going to hate it. And so he's going to hate it, but it's a B+. 39 sets in a week, way too much volume. He's going to be sore, and over time, he's going to hate it, a B+. Coach Greg's program, advanced training program, but I only got an hour. He does it in an hour. It's too hard. I can't handle it. It's giving him the D.
D for
Did I present my case well? Am I making sense that perhaps I didn't deserve the D? That perhaps either I kept the D, but Jesse James also gets a D? I mean, am I not making sense?
Even that is too heavy. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm gonna tear my lat.
It's feeling like it's too heavy. I'm getting tired. I feel I might tear my lat. B+. B+.
Back is finished, and I can kind of see why he trains at home now, because I kind of want to jump into an ice bath before I train biceps.
And I can see why he trains at home now. And so if you want an exercise program that's going to make you want to train at home, that's going to take you almost 3 hours, that you're going to be sore the next day, that you're probably going to hate, well, get Jesse James' program. And by the way, he gets a B+, almost an A rating. I'm now thinking that even Mike Isertel would have given me a better rating on my training program than even Will Tennyson.
It consisted of easy bar curls, spider curls, cable curls, and hammer curls for a total of 15 working sets.
And we're not done yet. You're thinking we're done? I mean, we did 23 sets of back, of which the secondary muscle is in fact the biceps. And so the biceps to this point, they're pre-fatigued. They're very tired. And so how many bicep sets do we now do? 15. Between 10 and 20 sets are supposed to be done for biceps in a week. And in one day, we're going to start with 15 following the back workout. It's a B+ program. He's sitting in his car, can't believe it took this long. He's mesmerized. He doesn't know what he just did. It's a B+. And so perhaps he's trained so hard in the gym, the blood flow, it's no longer in his brain, it's in his second head, and he's given him the B+. You would think with the blood flow released from the head more towards the D, that he'd more be inclined to give Jesse James the D. But no, he gives him a B+. Having trouble getting the D, mas duro que última vez. Get harder than last time for the downstairs. You guys understand Spanish?
If this program is worth it is definitely up for debate, but one thing's for sure, it makes your gym membership totally worth it.
And perhaps it's because the gym membership is not worth it. You're in there for so long, it makes it worth it.
It's definitely not for a beginner. It'd be like if someone who's never smoked weed hit a bong for the first time. They're done after the first hit.
And so he's saying it's not for anyone who's a beginner, perhaps not an intermediate, definitely for an advanced lifter. But when he tries my advanced lifting program, he says it's too hard. I just don't make any sense of this. I don't understand how Will Tennyson goes through my program. It's specifically designed for exactly what it does and doesn't like it, gives it a D. He goes through Jesse James' program, which is more suited for an intermediate trainer and takes 3 hours and gives them a B+.
A high B tier, like grazing an A.
And so perhaps Will Tennyson took an entire bottle of Turkesterone and GO2 Max before getting through this workout, and he simply had enough energy, and it allowed him to give it a B+ rating. Remember, if you want more energy, more stamina, build more muscle, certainly pick up a bottle of Turkesterone and GO2 Max. Remember, this is from Uzbekistan. It's not from China. This is the real shit, and it ain't laced with Fent. If you're interested, get code Greg 15% off, and I'm so confident it is what it is, so confident you're going to enjoy it. There's literally a money-back guarantee, and not only that, on top of that, $20 gift card. And so now what do you have to lose? Is it in fact snake oil when the person selling it gives you a bonus if you don't like it? If it was snake oil, you could literally buy it and profit from it. That is how good this supplement really is. And so we have third-party tests to prove it. It's on the website. And so if you want to compare it, my Turkesterone, to other companies' Turkesterones, by all means, be my guest. I double dog freaking dare you. And so go and try and dirk your Derek if you want. Go buy other people's products. Give that a try and compare it and see. Why is it that I'm bragging it up so much? Why am I doing it? Really analyze it. Think about it, people. Why do I say mine is the best? Have I not tested my product? Do I not know exactly what it is? Can I not promise you? Do I not have a money-back guarantee and a $20 gift card? Think about it. Use your heads. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops, of course. Cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team. The Harder Last Time clothing line. Guys, the clothing line too. Get the clothing line. The hoodies, the jogging pants, the tanks is awesome. Get to the website. And until next time, I am out.